Hey, there she is.
Hi.
Hey. I'm just about to tell everybody about your incredible generosity with the HBD lunch we had in September and giving everybody your amazing first pressed extra virgin olive oil organic. And it was so generous of you, and
No,
people were so pleased.
it
So
was
thank you so much for that.
such a pleasure, Petronella, to be invited and to give that out because the best way to really experience it is by tasting it firsthand.
It really is. It was a great, great
Yeah.
taste test. And you've been educating people on the fact that, we always used to think that an olive oil should be fruity. But as you pointed
Hmm.
out, it shouldn't be fruity, it should be peppery. And that is the polyphenols, the evidence that they're there. And people
Hmm.
describe it as sour sometimes, but I wouldn't say it was sour. I'd say, like you say, peppery, don't you?
This year in particular, I've been sort of touring England with various
Yeah.
shows and markets showcasing the olive oil firsthand. And it's just been incredible because I've been interacting with my customers and getting firsthand feedback. And what a lot of people tend to say with the early harvest, especially if they haven't tried it before, is that it can taste a bit bitter to them. Yeah, that sort of bitterness. But that is definitely indeed sort of that peppery, that bitterness is because it's harvested earlier in the season. So the olives are unripened, green when they get pressed. Hence, it's got that distinct flavor. And that pepperiness, it's not infused with any pepper. It's 100% olive
Yeah.
pressed. But that effect at the back of the throat that you get is sort of a bit of a tingling effect is due to the high phenolic content, those good polyphenols that,
And
yeah, they're
how do you
fantastic.
check for the polyphenols? And I always wonder, does it vary a lot from year to year? Or it just depends on if the olives are the same type of olives, then it's pretty much consistent. How does it work?
So it's never going to be exactly the same
Yeah.
polyphenol content every year, but it varies ever so slightly. And that is down to the fact of how much they've been watered, because usually the less water, the higher content of polyphenols, but it varies ever so slightly.
Because the
Yeah.
polyphenols are like to do with its survival. So I suppose, I think that
Mm,
if the climate or the conditions are difficult, then that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? That it would produce more
absolutely.
polyphenols. Yeah.
Yes, yes, and especially in the recent years, we've seen a lot of sort of droughts in the Mediterranean and sort of higher temperatures in the summer. It's not been great for many things, but it has meant that the polyphenol content has increased because, as you said, the harsher
Yeah.
conditions mean that they become more resilient, the olives, the fruit.
And I think that we do too in harsher conditions. Us humans get more
Yeah,
resilient, don't we?
yeah,
But
we
that's
share that.
yeah, we really do. What doesn't kill us makes us stronger, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yes, yes, and also to sort of circle back what you were saying about the sort of fruity notes that some olive oils have. I also love fruity notes and fruity flavor profiles in extra virgin olive oils, and that tends to come when they're pressed when later in the season they've matured a bit more, they've darkened a bit, and that creates a different profile, flavor profile, and it's a bit more fruity. And I love to use that as well. I love having different olive oils in my
Different olive.
cupboard.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, of course, it's going to be more expensive to produce the early harvest extra virgin olive oil because it produces less oil, doesn't it? Because it's
That's
picked, the
correct.
olives are picked before they're ripe. So
Absolutely, yeah. So they yield less olive oil per kilogram of olives. Hence, it's in limited quantities, and also, yeah, the price point is a bit higher.